Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to a special show on the Comic Art Live channel. We're going to be doing a bit of a recap about OAX one more time. However, this time we get a completely different perspective on the show because we're going to be talking with 4 artists that were guests of the show and were there the entire weekend and have their own view on what happened that weekend. And so before we get started and bringing them into the show here, I've got a short video clip that covers a lot of what happened on Sunday, mostly the free sketch event. For those of you who didn't get it to go to OAX, we did have a hour-and-a-half window where we did a free sketch event for about an hour and a half, and we had about half the artists on the floor who participated in that. And our 4 guests tonight are featured prominently at the beginning of this thing. So I'll go ahead and play that, and then we'll be joined by everybody, and we'll talk for a little bit. What are you having sketched out?
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost, all right. All right, can you tell us what you're having sketched?
Well, it's going to be a Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, outstanding.
I guess I'm warming up now. There you go.
There you go. You get a Harley Quinn from each of you?
Yes. There you go.
Well, not boring, but indistinguishable. It's hard with like the headshot stuff, and most people don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Just gonna take a little break.
That's so.
I got the head sketches right here.
Yeah, really.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I sit around and start doodling and fussing around.
Oh yeah.
Like a file thing.
Nice.
Pagbigyan na natin.
It's a great replacement for my line of work. So I love Ann Arbor. Like I was in today.
My pleasure. Thank you. Nice of you to say. Yes.
A little one here.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I
Cheers, man.
appreciate it.
I like great. I like that. You just want to be right there.
That's great.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Adam and Allison dropped out for a minute there while we were playing.
Okay, well,
I'm sure they'll be right back. But boy, look at the captains with us this
I put
evening.
the captain hat on because
Jim.
we need some color here. It's what a terrible hat. It's like, oh, nah, not skin color. We got that. That's right.
Well, welcome to the show, Jimmy and Amanda. Nice to
Hey,
have you
guys.
back.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Happy to be here.
Are you
We are-
recovered?
This hat's terrible.
Don't I look more relaxed? I'm
Yes,
so
you
much
do.
happier now than I was 2 weekends ago. But oh yeah, no, everything's great. Like Kazra said in the green room, I actually did some yard work the other day, planted some trees. So
right.
yeah, I think I'm relaxed. But yeah, the work's still not done. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. We're already starting to think about OAX 2025, and we've got I think we actually have the dates finally nailed down, and
Awesome.
plenty of good things. But I was watching that video. We should have given everybody cheaters, right? Because those sketch cards are small to work on. Everybody had to like get in close, and
they were. Everyone's hands look gigantic in that, and they're not. Cards are small. I mean, cards. When people do the original art for cards, they usually double, triple. I know Bill Sienkiewicz used to do them gigantic, and then they would reduce them down. But you can only do so much in a tiny card unless you're Kevin Nolan or Arthur Adams. You can only get so far on a small card.
Yeah,
that's true. It's good for a free sketch,
Yeah, for free sketch.
Yeah, like it keeps it keeps people from me from noodling it to death, which is good.
Yeah, I think the goal was to try to get as many people's cards done as we could, while we were sitting there, because at one point there were lines, right? The first 10 minutes there was like major lines. Everybody went for the person they wanted to get, and I think somewhere in their brain they're like, if I stay on this line, I might miss out on those 3 people. So let me go over there. There's a lot of that going on. A lot of Sophie's Choice moments with with who they're going to get to draw in their card. But
you guys were a twofer though, right? People were giving you both cards to do at the same time. Yeah,
they were. Yeah. They were. Yeah.
Good strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy to do, and everyone was so nice. Like, the great thing about a con like that is you pretty much get to know everybody that's at the show in the first day. So by the second day, it's like, and because the show was set up where Friday night we were being social with everybody, so we're hanging out with everybody that came in, and so by the end of the show, you felt like you knew everybody there. Even the fans as well. The people coming in. So it was it was a busy show. And it was also a relaxing show at the same time.
Yeah, which you think it would be opposite, but it actually it was perfect. Yeah, it was just the right amount of busy and extra, chill and relaxed and social. It was really social.
I even bought something. I had enough.
I saw you, Jimmy. You walked around a few times. Yeah,
I did. Yes. I was shopping a little bit, and I was like. I was trying to remember, like, don't get high on your own supply kind of business, like you're there to make money, not spend it. But it's kind of hard when you have a room full of artists you love and then dealers that have a ton of artwork. And then the other cool thing was I kept having guys that were bringing their collection of art to me with their portfolios and going, hey, if you ever want to trade, or hey, you want to see what my collection looks like? And I was like, absolutely, of course I do. So I would open them up and I'm go, oh, that's a great page, and I'm going to follow you back to your car, knock you out, and take that.
You got a reputation now, Jimmy. I think Bill wasn't he second most art posted in 23 in CAF?
Yes, you were. You came in second to the most artwork posted to CAF in 2023.
Oh, really? Wow. I kind of slowed down a little bit. It's not that I don't have more art to post, because I haven't posted much of the stuff I've inked. But I don't like, time is like the tough thing right now. I think since that con, it's been nonstop busy for us, and but I'm slowly getting stuff up. I'm also posting on my social media account, on Twitter and Instagram, because I feel like it's amazing what people write when I post it. Like, oh, I've never seen the original, or that's so cool, and is that yours, or is there a place to buy comic art? Which I always send them to your site. But it's really shocking to me how many people are just not even aware of some of the art. And when they see the art, they're like, oh my God, you could own that? I'm like, right, are you kidding me? Yeah. Check out CAF, go see what they got for sale, and put your favorite artist name in and do a search. You'll find something you like.
Very true.
But it's funny because I think the people that appreciate it, the audience is growing, and a convention like that only makes people feel like more connected with each other. I know even with the auction, I felt like everyone there was rooting for the other people to buy the pieces, and it was such a fun thing to see, Yeah,
very true. Well, yeah, obviously one of the goals of CAF and everything else we do, CA Live and OAX, is to grow the hobby. I think that Kazra and I have put together some good strategies for that. I mean, introducing the card art collectors to the show was wonderful, and they kind of came to us, and you know about collectors that are in a really finite niche like that, but the cool thing is they embraced the show and the philosophy that we had going into it, and really added something to the show that we couldn't have envisioned coming up with on our own. And it's just part of the community coming in and wanting to do more. So I think that bodes well for future shows and things that we're going to do on the on the channel, just to try to get more collectors interested in buying OA that we're all that we're trying to put in front of them. So yeah, works out very well. Welcome back.
Sorry, we are having strong winds, and if you sneeze funny in our house, we lose internet.
What'd you guys eat? What'd you guys eat that you got such strong winds going down there?
Yeah, there's sneezing and then there's sneezing.
The burritos? Burritos.
So we were just talking about the free sketch period, and you guys were obviously at the beginning of that video clip that we showed. So how did that go for you both? You got to color some of them too?
Yeah, I think free sketching went fine, right? Yep. Yeah, lots of people were interested. I don't think anybody was like rude about it, or I mean, I think it was.
I was.
Oh, all right. Well, Adam.
Well, Adam had no pants on. That's why he was rude. He didn't have to do anything. It was just no pants.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't stand up at the table.
People brought me Amanda's to color, actually.
That's true.
That is true. I've got a slide to show from that. But you guys, Adam and Allison, you guys had a great setup, because early on you talked about bringing, the drawing table to the show specifically so that everybody could see Adam work, and they got to see him do the shaggin' wagon with Velma, which was fantastic.
That was a beautiful piece.
It was very, very elegant. And but it worked out well, because we, remember before the show even started, you said, let's try to get some chairs set up. So I saw throughout the day on Saturday, a lot of people were sitting down watching. Yeah.
But later on, I bumped into Brian Stelfreeze, who I was in Gaijin Studios with many years ago. And he was just like, I haven't seen that table in 30 years. He's like, that's literally Gaijin year one. It made me realize I should have brought like an old VCR and some like X-Files videotape. Created this sort of like little museum experience in the corner.
And I want to
make
believe
it extra 90s
poster. Sure. Yeah, actually, speaking of Stelfreeze, I actually had a picture. I found out.
Oh, there you go.
You guys hanging out.
Greg Goldstein.
Yeah, I was scamming photos off of social media the past couple of weeks. Anything that looked good, but so the show was. We were talking about it with Jimmy and Amanda. It was kind of chill but busy. So I would assume kind of a similar experience for you both. There was never probably any downtime. I mean, when the show is only open for 7 hours each day, I mean that kind of, I think, focuses the collectors throughout the day at certain tables. But what was your experience like?
I wish we could do more 2-day shows that were 7 hours a day, that were as productive, laid back, friendly. Can you be laid back and energized at the same time? Like, it was the exact right kind of energy. It was people sharing portfolios and looking at each other's art and like bragging on.
Uh-oh. And she was saying such beautiful things.
It's like Columbo. Now we got a commercial and yeah. Oh, there she goes. All right,
we're
back.
Welcome to our internet.
The wind is fierce.
You're absolutely right. It was you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, we would do a dozen shows like it in a heartbeat, but there aren't a dozen shows like it. Like, it's that unique. And sign us up for the future. There's a cage match about who gets to go because you have a limited number of people. Throw me in the cage. I got it.
Well, no, you're probably the referee if there's a cage match.
Somehow I'll be in that cage. I just know it. I tell you, I did sell. I brought, Bill, I tell you guys all the time, I always bring a box of $75 pages that are like, the background page, whatever. Yep. Sold a ton of them. And and I had some guys that were pulling out pages that, honestly, there was a time when I worked at Marvel, I didn't know what I was doing. I just was doing 3 books a month, and they were not very good books. But one guy pulled out like 6 pages, and it was like he won the lottery. I can't remember what the book was, but it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. And he was like, I've been looking my whole life for these pages. And I was just like, $75 each, buddy. Take them all.
I went through the flat files. I did the whole like deep dumpster dive and was taking out like old prelims, old sketches, studies for covers, the stuff that Adam would send to an editor to be like, is this layout going to be okay? From like crazy old stuff. I think there's only one I put back in the drawer. I was like, that's actually way too basic. People were so stinking excited because I priced them like what they were, which was super rough. But they loved them. And I don't know that we came home with any. Like they just flew out of there. But then stuff that sat in the portfolio for years sold instantly. And it made me very aware of the fact that like there was a time at San Diego where we would see all of our primary collectors and then they stopped being able to get tickets.
Yeah.
And true. I would look up from the table and I would see folks, collectors that we haven't seen in years. And I'm like, yeah, this stuff has been sitting in the portfolio because the right people can't get to us at a standard show, at a New York or a San Diego where they can't get tickets or they can't get a hotel or the airfare is insane. And that wasn't an issue down at OAX. Whoever wanted to go was able to go. And they did. They turned up.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
That's that cover. That was a beautiful cover.
Oh, yeah.
Which?
The Captain America with not Bucky, it was Falcon.
Oh, okay.
I had a couple of buddies who spent all the money they had. I was laughing. Like one of them was walking out with he bought that giant with all the girls on it. Like he just like he was like Saturday afternoon he came up to me, he goes, I think I gotta go home now. I mean he's getting like a knee replacement, so he was limping around as it was, but he had so much stuff on. He spent so much because I have to go now. I can't last another day here because I spent and I'm like, that's a very happy man. You know, he was walking around like everything was bigger than him that he was holding.
But we had one guy who he bemoaned the fact that he couldn't pick up a piece of art he was interested in because he just bought a $30,000 cover that he'd been looking for forever. And I was like, oh, wow. I'll feel bad for you.
I would have got my violin out for him. I feel so bad.
My wallet's too small for my 50s and my diamond shoes are too tight.
You know what? I'll tell you, I'd rather hear that than the con. The chant I get from cons that were close by where they said they spent $500 on, I don't know, Thor's autograph or photo, and they don't have enough money left to buy a $20 book at the booth. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I'd rather hear a guy bought $30,000 worth of art from someone because I hope it's somebody I know so I can get a free dinner out of it. You know. So.
Or the art auction where
the auction, yeah.
I was sitting there thinking to myself, this is like the old days at Heroes Con when it was like the bargain basement art auction where you could go home with something crazy great for crazy prices. And I think, oh dear. We have been drinking a lot.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
I might have brought my own alcohol in and added it to the cocktails we all got.
Oh boy.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, look at the booze house.
These last two look like they're having fun. The first one looks like Allison's trying to get Catcher in the Rye band at her local municipal meeting.
Right.
That was fun. And Jimmy, I had a piece that I hadn't finished, and Jimmy had this great idea. I was like, well, I have to like finish all these things, and then I have to color this piece. And Jimmy was like, if Allison wants, Allison, do you want to color it? And I was like, shit, that's a great idea.
I was blown away.
And she did an amazing job on it. And
I was so excited that you asked.
Yeah, that's the image on the right here.
Yeah, where Power Girl is holding Stinky.
Yeah, the left one was a commission, a pre-show commission.
Yeah,
that was done.
So and Stinky, Power Girl scolding Stinky is the one that Allison colored in. It's beautiful. It looks great.
And the guy got a good price. Whoever the person or guy girl, I don't know.
Yeah,
the person who bought it. got a really good price at the auction. A
Yeah.
lot of
They
the
did.
stuff in the auction, they got some really great deals.
Yeah. My favorite art note ever from an editor is always going to be this piece where Amanda made a point of telling me that's poop in the background, so make sure you color it appropriately.
I didn't even see that until now. My
Oh,
goodness.
Larry bought it.
Yes. And it's funny, actually, the piece on the right, I still have here with me because I haven't gotten the final payment on it yet. So it still feels like it's mine. I've looked at it.
Oh, okay.
If they don't end up paying in full, I'll happily
Hey,
take
give me
it.
an address. I'll shake them down. I'll go there and take care of it. Just give me their address.
Yeah, the thing was that was such a cool thing that you guys did, because the whole much of the show, we really wanted to have everyone take the opportunity to do things that you wouldn't normally get to do at a regular show, right? I mean, Adam, you did some commissions, Amanda did commissions, and then the idea that Amanda and Allison collaborated on a piece at the show, those are things that just wouldn't necessarily happen at a regular show, and we really lucked out in that every most every guest embraced that idea going into it and had fun with the show, and it just made the show better for our attendees and a lot more fun for you guys as well, I think.
Oh yeah. It was like I said, it was a no pressure show. I mean, I was empathizing with you two because it's your first show, and I was just like, okay, anything I can do maybe to help. I was trying to be available, but I was also worried at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like, even though you guys had seemingly everything was under control, it went like I said, it went so smooth, and we actually got a lot of good hangout time Friday and Saturday at the bar with the fans, and we were just hanging and drinking and telling stories, and I'm sure people were overhearing horrible stories that me and Adam were telling. We definitely had story night Sunday night with Brian, but it was a great relaxed show, and I think I mentioned to you guys years and years and years ago when Mark Alessi was running CrossGen, that was the hotel he started the MegaCon at, was in that hotel. And because when we pulled up, I'm like, oh my God, we used to go here like a million years ago. And boy, just what it made me realize how much more comfortable and nice this smaller hotel kind of con is.
Oh,
because it was just relaxing.
I'd forgotten what it's like to actually be at an event and your room is in the same hotel.
Yeah, that's nice.
They're going, I want to use my toilet. I'll be back, Yeah. As opposed to, you got to go share a bathroom with a guy in a duct tape rhino costume. Hope for the best.
Well, the VIP reception on that first night was terrific.
That was
hugely attended and fun.
Yeah.
Great food, like everybody hanging out together, sharing. They were already sharing portfolios.
Seeing people in the lobby, like, hey, let's get us over here. And the big black book would open up and you could tell people are already like making deals and sharing stuff with each other. And
you should get Itoya as a sponsor.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll try.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit easier to get sponsors in year two, but you just never know going into it. But I think that Friday night worked out better than we could have hoped. I mean, we had the perfect weather. So it was really nice outside. And like you said, you knew people. We knew going into it that was going to be the night where people were going to be asking the artists, maybe can you tell me what you brought? And the collector's going to be making.
Nobody was buggy. Nobody was pestering. Everybody was just great. Like, it was fun chatting with folks.
It was this one guy, Bill, that was running around looking at everything. I don't know.
I wish I got to look at art. I'll tell you, Kessler and I both agreed that at the end of the show, neither of us actually opened a single portfolio.
You know what?
I hate to say that. I mean,
that is the price of that. That is the price of that. It's like your own wedding. Everyone else is having a better time.
You had prepped us. I really thought like Maureen was going to be at the door in the mornings, like waiting to see what was in the art portfolio. Like, I was really let down.
She got around a little bit on Sunday, and my kids finally did. And the friends that I had that were volunteering at the reception desk and registration, they got out, and so everybody went out and were able to buy artwork. But Saturday was kind of all hands on deck for most of the day. We just there was, you know, you don't know what you're getting into, right? So we know next year that we'll have a little bit more help. I mean, Casper was pushing the drink cart, I think both days. I was
that
was
right up to his room. He wasn't pushing it around. He took that part right up to right into the elevator.
It was only because I gave out drinks that I got to say hi to everybody. That worked out great. Yeah. But we'll have more volunteers next year, and I definitely want to walk around like a fat cat next year a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a game plan going in that I was going to go to every guest and exhibitor and make sure I got a photograph with them, and I didn't, and that never happened on the floor at all. I got a few photos after the show, but yeah, all the best laid plans we had just were shot, but it was all worth it.
At some point, you feel like an asshole, honestly. Like there's 10, 15 people I didn't say hi to, where I would have dropped everything I was doing if they were in town.
Yeah.
It was awkward. I wasn't prepared.
You know, it was nice to see a lot of people. We had some people come from overseas. We had friends of ours came from California to the show, and it was nice to see. Amanda's very amused at your dog, Allison.
We think it's WALKS time. Yeah. It's raining and windy out, so they're not getting that. So they're like, well, somebody see to our needs. And it's like, no.
But it was nice to see so many different people from so many different places make the trip. And I think, you know, making the trip to Long Island, to Orlando is kind of easy because if you hang out a couple more days, it's not like there's nothing to do there.
Well, right. Like, you know, we went to Disney, we went to Universal. There was a thank you, Bill.
Hey, who's kidding?
I was, woo, I've been to OAX, yeah! And that's Olivia. She was our booth babe for the weekend. We're very grateful. We couldn't have done it without her. I can't draw and mind the booth, and Olivia volunteered to fly in, and I felt bad because she's a collector herself, and she never got to go look at portfolios either. So, but there was a rocket launch one night. What night?
Yeah, it was. It was
Sunday night. Yeah.
Sunday night. You guys all left the restaurant.
We were at a restaurant, and then Chad Harden, who was at Cape Canaveral, was like, "There's a rocket launch. Are you watching?" And we're like, "What?" And because there was also supposed to be a rocket launch the next day, so I didn't know that there was one Sunday night. And I checked out the time, and we all like ran out of the restaurant, went around the back of the restaurant so we could see. It looks like a really tiny sun launching into the air, and then it gets really elongated, and it was pretty cool.
We were having dinner. Where were we?
We were in the California Grill atop the Contemporary Hotel in Magic Kingdom, which is like 15 stories up. And Olivier, who's
Olivia. You said Olivier.
Wow.
Because they're both people we know.
Right. But she arranged our dinner for like 9:00, which is when the Magic Kingdom fireworks happen. So we're actually out there on the balcony looking down on the fireworks.
Nice.
This young girl taps me on the shoulder and says, "There's going to be a rocket launch in 9 minutes in the other direction." And I went, "Oh." So when we got seated for our table, we were seated on the exact opposite side of the California Grill overlooking Bay Lake. And we got to watch the Epcot fireworks and the SpaceX
right from our table.
Right from our table.
Nice.
It was really hard, like sipping our cocktails. Our waiter bringing us like tasty things to nibble on.
It's so civilized.
Yeah, it really felt like the future.
Right, from the Contemporary, which is I'm sure what Walt Disney planned when he built that futuristic hotel.
I just wish, Bill, that there had been a couple of sort of like toy vendors at your show, so I could have bought an action figure and shown the judge where this waiter kept touching me. This guy was very handsy, and
I heard about that
guy. And he obviously is, a very happy person, as they say.
Adam is not a huggy bear. Adam does not like friends touching him, strangers touching him. I don't often touch him. The dogs, they get a pass. but there's this curse. There's like you have pissed off some waiter somewhere that cursed you.
Some waiter deity.
Right.
You
Because
know, like
every serving person, we can be in a group of 24, and they come and they stand behind Adam and they want to tell the table all about the special tonight. Boy, do we have dessert.
Wow.
With their like hot dog fingers, you know.
Yeah. So I was just sitting there going, remember when the rocket launched? We won't see days like that again. But it was funny. Here's a funny story that too many people got to hear. That was actually my second rocket launch. That was my second.
What was your
rocket
first
launch.
one?
When he came to the planet, right? When you came, that was your first one.
A small meteor from the destroyed planet of Hughesium.
Yeah. No, when I was 5 years old, my mom and my grandmother brought me down from New Jersey to Orlando to, my fifth birthday present was to go to this new place called Walt Disney World. And back then, to get from the Orlando airport to Magic Kingdom and its 2 hotels, you had to drive through in a bus. You had to ride a bus through orange groves with dirt roads. That's how undeveloped it was back then. And we're driving, and the bus driver stops in the middle of the orange grove. And I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm old enough to understand if this is like a sort of a Nicaraguan hit squad kind of a moment. Like, I don't know what was going on. He said, everybody please get out of the bus and look to the east. And there was a rumble, and we watched Apollo 16 take off for the moon.
Nice.
Apollo 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was just kind of like, get me to Mickey Mouse. That's cool.
Young Adam Hughes.
Adult Adam Hughes loved it, though.
There you go. But yeah, so there's a lot to do in Orlando, which is how we all segued into these stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you come for OAX, stay for Orlando.
Yeah.
That was the idea. We knew, that there's plenty of opportunity before or after the show to do things. I mean, you don't have to go to the parks. Either coast is an hour away. Plenty of other parks and things to do in the area. So, and it's end of January. Makes sense.
You don't have to go far because the burger at the hotel restaurant bar you don't need to leave the building. I gotta say, it surprised me.
It was good.
It was
Really?
It was great. But
Okay.
I mean, like, for a lot of collectors that maybe, they hit a lot of shows all year long, and the family is like, you go on the road a whole lot. Bring the family. There's a ton to do. It's sort of nice about that location.
Yeah, it's downhill from here, fellas. Though I mean, that's a way to start the year. Now we have another. What do we have? Another 10 cons. I'm like, oh, it's gonna suck. Oh boy, we got spoiled on the first one out.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way we wanted it. But now we've got to we have to one up ourselves now and do a better job than we did this first time out, which is we're excited. I mean, I think that looking at the opportunities that are out there, and we've been contacted by a lot of other creators that wish they were here for the first show. So I think it's going to be very interesting for us to kind of pull the whole show together and just thinking about how we can expand it. And we know the card art collectors are definitely going to be back. They're really excited. So we're looking at potentially some guests that will excite them. But I think our guests that comic book illustrators would be interested to have hanging out with them as well. And so that's the fun part of planning. It was a fun part of planning the first show, and really going into the second show, it's going to be even more interesting. But yeah, you can, after the show, you can email us and let us know which guests you might like to see there.
Yeah.
We're taking
We loved our corner. We loved our little corner.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We licked that. That's ours now.
Okay.
That's our corner. Yeah,
that was Casper put together a lot of the seating arrangements throughout that, and that was, I felt I knew he was going to do a great job, and it was fun, because you got to see kind of the philosophy behind who you were putting in the same row. You'd have some painters in the same row, either side, and then having friends together. Adam Kubert was down that way by you guys as well. It created a really fun dynamic that we knew would kind of put you guys at ease too, where you're not on an island up against another vendor that you have no knowledge of. So that was a fun part of the whole process. I feel, and it's something we're gonna enjoy doing next year.
It was a little torturous because we had an art dealer across from us. I can't remember who, but he had these
Wolvie fan.
Yeah, and he had this beautiful Frank Thorne Red Sonja paid for 11,000. It's a splash, and I kept looking at it, going, "Huh, that could be mine." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, I have to actually make money here." And so, but I like the whole weekend I looked at it, and nobody bought it, which was, I thought, could have been a little cheaper, but it was out of my price range. But
the good news, Jimmy, he's only 2 hours east of Orlando. Anytime you want to go over there and look again.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But it was torturous because
isn't 2 hours east of Orlando the ocean?
Pretty much hour 45, depending how fast you drive.
Yeah, it's probably right to the. It's in the middle of the Atlantic somewhere.
Just north of Miami.
International waters. So, no, it was torturous because I didn't get to go look at stuff. Like every time I went to the bathroom, I would take a different route because I wanted to see what was out there. And we actually carted artwork home for a friend, and Adam was like blown away. He's like, I didn't know that you purchased this. You got this. And
it was like a Toth page and a
nice
Rusty Riley. What was the artist?
Did it get lost? Did it get lost?
No, we actually lost other things from this person. So we were real careful about that.
Yeah.
Frank Godwin. It was a Frank Godwin, Rusty Riley strip. And I was just like,
Yeah. And, it's probably best I didn't look around because I did have money burning a hole in my pocket, but I was half wondering, like, was there a way to do like the old style San Diego sneak preview night, which was just for the people vending?
Yeah, we thought about Friday night.
I know, right? That's Jimmy. That's why I was the same.
Yeah, I kind of like the mingle.
Yeah, I did
Friday
too.
night. That was like a really. I thought, this is me personally, guys. I'm like, open bar is all I needed. Friday night. That food just got in the way of my drink. I was like, all right, yeah, that's great. That's wonderful fish. I get it. We need the water.
Good news. We can announce there will be at least an hour open bar at the auction to start with.
Oh, there you go. That'll loosen the wallets a little bit.
Yeah.
Or come find me.
I wasn't planning on buying art, but I bought a all red piece at the
great one.
auction.
Gosh, that was nice.
Giant what?
The painting.
Beautiful.
I couldn't believe it. I walked in and I looked at it. I'm like, whoa. I was like, that's beautiful.
It's on our wall already. It's on the wall already.
Yeah, we got it up on the wall like the next day when we got back.
Well, I ended up picking up
the other one.
Yeah, Larry bought it originally, and then when I started thinking about having to ship that back to him, I decided it was easier for me to buy it from him. So
that's great.
So I bought it. And the thing is, it actually looked. I had it in the house for a couple weeks before the show, so I already had a place.
You had gotten attached to it.
Yeah,
Mike said that he's not going to paint like that anymore.
Right. Well, that was the other thing. Is
he said he's not doing it anymore. He said that's it.
Like no. Anything he does like that in the future will be like 12 by 18 or smaller. So he learned his lesson because it was. I think he had a cost him like $700 to ship those to me. So that's just a lot, and it's something you knew that nobody could take home with them. So it made sense that Amanda got one and I got the other one. So they stayed here.
It was a bargain. I was shocked. It's funny, like and like all auctions always shock me, right? The stuff people bid on, sometimes it goes up, and I'm like, what? And then you see something like that, and nobody's bidding on it. I'm like,
I couldn't believe it. Like there were so many things going through my head when I was looking at it, and you guys were like talking it up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, nobody's bidding on this. I want it. Where will I hang it? I have no place to hang it. Wait.
And I can hear her, and I can see her looking at me like, should I? And I'm just
like, wondering with her hand signals going on.
Is it
okay for
I
me to
stopped
bid?
her from buying 40 other things. I know when Amanda gets in that drunk mode with the little paddles, it's bad. It's really bad.
Paddle.
Yeah.
Oh, those Simpson drawings.
Yes.
My gosh. I almost started bidding on those. Those were great.
They were great. Yeah.
We do have a bunch of those.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
And I bought one too.
I know
right?
you
bought one.
I know it. Gin, man. I'm telling you. Gin.
Got your back.
But we were happy with that. And the auction did pretty well too. I mean, we're going to put out a press release tomorrow that'll talk more about the show. It's taken us 2 weeks to kind of recover and get to the point where we can do that. But when we do that, we'll also announce next year's dates and everything. But yeah, there's definitely room for improvement on the overall show. But I think by and large, everybody was really happy. You talk to some of the elder statesmen in the business, you know, like Juergens and a few other guys, and they all said it was nice. It felt like a throwback show, you know, very relaxed, you know, unlike, you know, the MegaCon, you know, or the mega cons out there. We won't say mega. You know, it's different. I mean, we, as the older we get, and you know, we're definitely a subset of fandom. I mean, there's not many shows that are really catered to what we want, right? And definitely on the collector side, but I'm sure on your side of the table too. And that was really, you know, something that we wanted to achieve. So it was nice to hear that from so many people that, you know, they felt like, you know, we nailed it in terms of you know, creating that kind of vibe. And that's,
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, any flaws or any issues from our end, we didn't see it, right? But you guys obviously had to deal with day-to-day stuff. But from our end and from the fans' end, we haven't heard a negative word. You know,
except for some of the food. Yeah.
Oh, was it the guys from New York complaining about the food? Because they're Madonna-ish a little bit.
A lot of Jersey guys.
What's that?
A lot of guys from Jersey complaining about the food.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, they're all hanging out in the hollow tunnel. What can I tell you? You know, they're just looking for something to complain. That's their way of speaking.
Three of us right here are from Jersey.
Right.
Right.
I know.
Andrew, were you complaining about the food?
No, I was just happy to get hot food. I was just like, I'm food motivated, so like I'm happy with all kinds of food.
Yeah, and Fred Chamberlain just said the food's the biggest issue. You're doing well. And that's true. I mean, it wasn't like there was a lack of places. If you didn't like the food, you could just go you could walk right down the street into like 3 different restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think the having the open bar Friday night loosened everybody up. People were talking to each other that normally don't mix. And because there was a lot of random tables, I remember I was sitting on different random tables, starting conversations with people because, you know, I get in that mood. And it's like I met one of the guys that that ordered a pre-commission from Amanda, so he was super excited, and it was just fun to see how excited everyone was and how they were all saying, "Man, I'll do this next year." And they didn't even, the con didn't even start yet,
right?
You know, so I was like thinking, yeah, because when you go to New York and do New York Con, it's 1 billion people. There is no universal place where people meet. And the art's all over the place. I mean, you know, an Artist Alley is like crazy down there. You know,
and it's really hard to get food.
Yeah, and the pee. And if you got to pee, that's even
Your
worse.
toilet is very far away.
Yeah,
toilet.
Right.
It's Adam now ranks shows based on where he's got to pee.
That's right. You
How
have
many
to go,
steps
I
to the
hear
bathroom?
you.
you have to go to New Jersey to pee.
We already negotiated better toilets for year 2. Not even kidding. They're right when you walk in at the reception, and they're beautiful and large and clean. Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Adam's
Being able to go to the bathroom is a big plus.
Yeah, Adam's drawing table in one corner, porta potty in the other. Set.
No, you just see the hand come out of the porta potty.
We can set up something behind your drape. It's no problem. You have room. We were gonna set up a cot for Bianchi to sleep half the time he was there behind the drape. Yeah.
He was jet lagged. Is that what it was?
He just likes sleeping at cons. So I think it's just a weird personal thing.
Yeah. That is strange. Maybe it's a kink. Maybe it's a kink.
Yeah, I like naps.
Well, I like naps, but not at a con on a table. You don't sleep. Well, you do. Amanda sleeps under the table sometimes.
Every once in a while, I'm at a con. I'm so exhausted. I will put some of the blankets that we used to cover the stuff at the table at night. I will just put them down on the ground, and I will go to sleep under the table just because I'm so exhausted. I can't even like write my name anymore. I'm just. I'm falling asleep while I'm talking to people, and it's just I'm crazy exhausted.
There's nothing quite like a pillow made of bubble wrap.
Yes.
Jet lag.
For me, looking for a pen and a hand comes up.
we were in England. It was Star Wars Celebration Europe, and Adam was jet lagged, and he just had to have that nap. And I was like going to the table. And fans would come by and they'd be very outraged. Is he ever going to come? Is he ever going to be here? And I would just reach over and lift the curtain. Voila. And there's Adam sleeping under the table.
All right, they have that in common. These two have that in common then, because Amanda does that too. She'll crash under the table.
Like a religious icon. Wow.
Well, fortunately, we had that heavily carpeted floor, so anybody that did want to sleep on the floor didn't have to bring a mat or anything. I think they had that going for them. But now we're hearing it. We're getting the dirt. It's bubble wrap and rolled up, sheets that you have to cover things. So using those as pillows.
Anything, jackets.
The OAX nap time event. Like it's a little room with
Right. There you go, right there.
And slumber party.
That would be a nightmare movie. Slumber Party at OAX would be like a nightmare movie.
Well, it's there's plenty of options for OAX 2025, but we've already I think we've ironed a few things out with the hotel. And they're actually going to be doing some outdoor space renovation that's going to be done before the show next year, so that there's some potential for us to use the outdoor space a little differently than we did this year too. So there's flexibility, and I think we're going to have the whole space this time. Where the auction was, there was basically another hall almost the same size as the main hall over there.
Wow.
So we're going to utilize the space a little bit better. But I think that that main room, everybody should be able to get back into a similar position, from where they were, because I know a lot of people are like, I want that space again next year, or at least be in the same spot. So we'll be able to do that. But it's exciting, and we have so many things to figure out along the way. But planning OAX 2025 is going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Yes, for sure. But count us in, right?
Yeah.
He's very serious about this. He's got to consider all the angles.
Yes, serious face.
Does
a very serious face right now.
Well, we like the idea of you guys starting the show, your show year off at OAX. I mean, that was, having it early in the year was kind of important to us because I wanted to have it outside of the main con season and but kind of early enough to avoid anybody else. I mean, I think that it worked out really well for us. I think for us, it kind of sets the tone for everybody else's expectations throughout the year to have a better experience, or if not, you're going to come back to OAX the following January.
Bill's getting cocky. I like it.
I am. Well,
I like it. Finally.
Finally.
Or we're going to spend the entire rest of the convention season with that. Like my first boyfriend was a porn star. All right.
Yeah. They did this.
Yeah.
It's the thing is, we've heard a lot of good things from everybody who's attended, not just the artists and the and the attendees, but even the dealers who exhibited. I heard from 2 exhibitors in the last week that they did as well at OAX as they've done at San Diego.
That's
a 5-day show.
I heard that.
And so
it was our best North American show we've ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shocking. There was so many things that a lot of people were naysaying me privately going into the show. It's too close to the holidays and Christmas, so people don't have any money. It's tax season. People are going to wait for their refund checks, so they're not going to have money to spend. And it really, was nothing like that. I was going into it. I was nervous, but in the end,
for Christmas, they came to OAX.
Yeah, I mean, it's know your audience. People who can afford $30,000 covers, or they don't love anybody enough to buy them Christmas presents, so they've got all their money. That's our audience.
Also, for the time of year, you don't have to worry about hurricanes. You don't have to worry, considering where you are. That's a great time of year. You're not looking at cancellations due to weather-related events, which is really a Florida thing.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
We were a little worried though, Allison, because there was that big storm across the country, but we just got lucky this year. It was like a week or 2 prior to the show, and then the weather broke and it got warm.
Hey, it's not after 10 o'clock yet. It's still a family show for another 10 minutes. It did rain the one morning. I saw a couple of the collectors who went out for breakfast came back soaking wet, like Michael Finn and Benno, I think, were out somewhere and they got drenched. But it didn't rain during the day. But
and
still,
again, you could go from your hotel room right to the hall. You never had to go out.
Yeah.
Although I think Tatiana told me there was like a coffee shop / bakery not real far away. And after that, I was kind of like, why am I not going out?
I found out from my brother, there was a really good French bakery just a couple blocks away.
Yeah, so we obviously need a runner for that next year.
Oh yeah.
There's also a White Castle there's a White Castle. Now it's not exactly close, but it's close enough with someone with a car can take like 6,000 hamburgers in the back seat.
It's the biggest White Castle in the world too, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been there yet. Have you been there?
I haven't, no, but I mean, growing up in Chicago, White Castle, you wouldn't imagine. Well, I won't talk about that, but
yeah,
it's the biggest in the world. And I know you seem to be a big fan. You've talked about White Castle a lot.
It's nature's broom. You eat them and it sweeps everything out of your body.
Exactly. That's what I didn't want to talk about. Amanda, just so you know, February 14th, Valentine's Day, they have a special where you can make a reservation at the White Castle in case the two of you want to go.
Wow.
They're taking reservations.
Candlelight.
It's 2 hours away. Otherwise, I would.
Now, hang on a second. We all know what White Castle actually is. There are probably people who are going to be watching this going, it's some place called the White Castle. And you can reserve it for, and it's like...
It's like...
Google that, because
if we were in LA, I would have thought it was a secret society, but Orlando, yeah.
It would be like somebody thinking McDonald's is a Scottish restaurant, and they're really looking forward to some destination dining.
Yeah. Sorry, babe. We're not going to White Castle on Valentine's Day.
I might be talking to Maureen about that, though. Let's see what she's up for.
Bill, you might be a little closer, Bill. You maybe can make
I think I see like an after-event banquet hall opportunity for you.
Yeah, that's a
well.
thought.
I did a show years ago in Philly where I told people if they bring me a Philly cheesesteak, I would do them a sketch. How many cheesesteaks did I get?
He fed Artists Alley.
I fed the entire Artists Alley. Everyone brought cheesesteaks. It was like 26 of them I had. So I'm sketching away for everybody with the cheesesteak. And then I'm cutting them, and I'm like, "Here, you hungry?" I literally fed everyone in Artist Alley cheesesteak sandwiches because I just put it online. I didn't know if there'd be any takers, and there was a lot of takers.
Jimmy's like the Bob Geldof of Artist Alley.
That's it.
Feeding everyone.
Feed the world.
Feed the last people that need food, I'm giving food to.
This is completely off topic, but we went over at our local Ace Hardware, and for no good reason, they're selling these fake boxes to give joke gifts in.
Oh, I love those.
Have you seen these?
Yeah, I
got one.
Yeah.
I got one from Patrick and Jenny. There are booth babes.
Yeah.
I got one year.
Well, it's still relevant. Valentine's Day is coming. People might want to look into this.
But like one of them's for a donut holster, and it's this belt you put on, and it's just this plastic rod you stick out the side of your hip, and you put your donuts on it. And I always thought at first I was like, wow, this is going to be great for Artist Alley, and then I realized it was a gag box. It wasn't a real thing.
It's such a bummer when you find out it's not real. Patrick and Jenny got me a teach your cat to paint kit.
Wow. Oh, boy.
And
what do you do? And you open it like, oh, we're going to teach the cat.
Shit, how am I going to? How do I do this? Right? And then I repackaged. I used the box and gave my mom the box. Later on that afternoon for Christmas Day. And she got really excited because she thought the cats would learn how to paint.
Oh my God.
Keeps on giving.
But you know what? I would use a donut holster. I'm disappointed that that's not a thing.
On the back of the box, they show different people using it. One's like a golf guy. He's like swinging, and he's out there on the green. Another one is this woman rock climber, and she's got the sports edition, which is it's a plastic knob you put on the end so the donuts don't fall off while you're climbing. But like there's it's like one of those Ronco products that'll have this bullet list of here's all the places you can use the donut holster. And it was like saying school, work, Europe, mediations, church. The people at the Ace Hardware were coming over. Why were we crying and laughing in the first section?
You did buy it, right?
I bought 3 of them. I bought the donut holster. I bought the what was the
baby changing shield?
The baby changing shield. It's like this Batman bat shield with these 2 rubber gloves for whatever if you ever have to interact with a baby, you know. And one of the pictures in the back is somebody holding the baby up and the baby's vomiting all over the shield. And they're just like
Oh man, yeah. My son got one of those boxes for Christmas, and it was a Chia Pet, but it was for the toilet seat, so it'd grow. And he opened it up, and I'm even looking at it thinking, "What in the hell is there? Is no way that's."
They call that a soft landing.
Soft landing. He looked at it for a while, you know, but he got it. He opened it up, and it was something else. Thankfully.
I am so fucking glad she's gone. Can we talk?
Yes. Is she holding you hostage?
Are you okay?
I'm blinking in Morse code.
SOS.
The dogs really have to pee.
Yeah. Yes,
but like they get each other going. They get like one of them will think they hear something outside and just start yelling, and the others will be like, you know, they're like, you know, social media people. They don't investigate before they react. They just, you know. So, we've got a really crummy doorbell, which I haven't fixed in 15 years, and I don't need to because if there's a delivery and I'm down in my studio, I can tell when they're barking at a knocker. I can tell when they're barking at the UPS guy or something.
Right. Yeah. That's like our next door neighbors have many dogs and cats, and there's this one little dog, Harry, and he barks like a little old man that's telling you to get off his lawn. But once he starts, all the dogs start going, and it's pretty funny.
It's a gator.
So we're learning a lot about comic art today.
Yeah, it's really, well, you know.
Well, I was going to show some of the commissions you guys did to, you know, kind of. Why not? So I know you, Amanda, you took on. How many did you do? 6. You did 6. So we saw one of them. Let's see. Here were a couple more that you did.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Yeah, those turned out very nice.
Tits could be bigger.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Now, yeah. Speaking of bigger ones, let's see. I know these were a couple that Adam worked on, I believe. Yeah. Look at that.
Great. Wow.
You know, I was telling Jimmy about this, that like the last time I saw the late great Darwin Cook, he was like, "Man, I have always loved your Catwoman, but could you just please, why the cleavage? Could you just please zip her up?" I told Jimmy that for like about a minute and a half on this one here, before I had the idea of having Batman standing behind her, I was going to have her crouched, and behind her would be like an old timey 1920s sign on the side of a building that says "Cook Zipper Repair." Dedicated to Darwin.
Oh man,
those are gorgeous.
Yeah,
those are just stunning.
It would have been cool to see, you know, the handoff to the collectors with these, you know, just to see their expressions. I'm sure they were thrilled to get these.
No doubt.
Allison said that everybody seemed pretty happy. You know.
Yeah,
I would think so. Some more here.
Great.
Did Vampirella just sit on the cross on that coffin?
Oh yeah. It's guess the monument. It's like, you know, better figure out what it is. Amanda, the Starfield on the Dark Phoenix was this new new to us paint pen that somebody introduced us to back at WonderCon last March, which was my return to conventions after 4 years, whatever. Best opaque paint pen I've ever used.
Oh, really? Okay.
Gotta get the name of that.
I want to know what that is.
Yeah. Okay. I've got it in front of me. As soon as we come back from this art extravaganza.
That's more right here.
Okay.
It's. I got mine from Blix, right? Yeah. And it's just called White Manga Liner. And it's in this.
See it?
It's a blue and white guy. It has virtually no English on it.
Okay.
But if you go to Blix, I last time we restocked, we got like 8 of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
Okay.
Want one?
We need them to sponsor OAX next
There
year.
you go.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, like, if like marker people or art supply people had talked to you at all, like
comic bags, even like the
or
the
art, yeah,
plastic.
like art sleeves.
Yeah, we not.
think you
I
guys
reached out. I
should-
actually reached out to a bag supplier. And
Bags Unlimited. Yeah.
I didn't want to say who it was. They didn't even reply. So
You know
you
what?
know,
You guys should
I
just
was
have.
trying.
You should have an OAX.
I even asked them to
table where
like
you
send
guys
us
tell us.
samples, right? Send us sample bags. We'll throw put one of your cards in there. We'll give them out as in the swag bags and things. And it's funny.
You guys got to make some money. Why don't you just set up a table?
We ended up buying. My daughter works for Joann Fabrics, and so we did have the bright idea before Maureen and the kids came down to swing by a couple Joann Fabrics and buy up every 11 by 17 and 13 by 19 Itoya that they could, and we sold more than half of them at the show because there were so many people that didn't bring bags or even bring an Itoya with them. So next year definitely we'll try to have. I'd like to think we'll have an exhibitor who is selling merchandise like that. And,
Bill, I know some folks that we have some connections in the markers and the pens people. Well, I'll put you in touch, and I'm sure they've exhibited at other shows fairly successfully, and if they think it's a show that's just art, that's really very up their alley.
Allison's got a guy. She's got a
guy.
You got a guy.
I like that. Yeah.
Think about OAX, and then there's like a little marketplace. There's a little marketplace where just like you get 2 or 3 different people who buy things that we artists or the collectors or the fans will all need, and it's like one-stop shopping because it's bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
And it's like
Sharpies.
You actually advertise it as like go visit the marketplace.
BB guns, yeah.
BB guns, yes.
Short axes, short-handled axes.
Wait a minute, this is starting to sound like the shows we don't want to go to. You're going to ask me. You're going to say that we need to have cutting boards and things on the floor next, aren't you?
Razor blades.
Yeah, but no, that is a good idea. I mean, so yes, Allison, please put us in touch with them. I think that we'll have a lot of variety in terms of people. We had tattoo parlors wanting to exhibit at the show. No shortage of those, but we did turn them down. There was a lot of requests for that.
That's interesting.
I don't see any of the people maybe it's just me of that crowd laying down on a table in their speedo, trying to get like a cat woman on their back. Just go ahead. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I would gladly get my first tattoo if you could find an artist that could tattoo a thinner person, like the image of one on me, like an optical illusion. Look how thin his neck is. Oh my god, he's got hair for a change.
I'll tattoo some eyebrows on there.
Oh man, don't get me.
Oh man, it's getting brutal in there.
Constantly happy ones. Just you can frown all you want, but your eyebrows say you're having a great day.
I'll look like old Joan Crawford for the next OAX.
I've got one more piece of art to look at. Let's see here. This was the one everybody got to know. But
look, some tattoo artists got at him.
Yes, exactly. It does sort of look like that, doesn't it?
That person got a steal at the auction.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely did. I have to admit, I should have went after that one hard, but they were very happy. I can tell you that. I packed it really well. I put it. I slabbed it in masonite, and then still put it in an oversized padded box because I was just too worried about it. And back to again, Adam, the opportunity to work with Gerhard probably will never present itself again. I'm so glad that you took this on and it came out so well. I mean, Gerhard was pretty proud of the way it turned out too, and we just got the scan too late that we couldn't do a set of prints for it to give out to everybody. But when I saw the image, I knew I had to make it into a show print so we could put it out there and have everybody that walked through the door sign it. So this is going to be up on my wall. I'm so happy to have it, and there's only one other one. Casper's got a copy of one as well, but he didn't get anybody to sign that one.
I think next year maybe Gerhard could draw the girl and Adam could do the background.
There you go.
That's pretty cool. Just outstanding.
Yeah, I was very happy with that, the way it turned out. So OAX success for your side of the table as well. I think that's the unanimous verdict from
Yeah, I
this
loved
thing?
it.
Yeah, we'll be
Good.
back. We'll be back.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we've got more time to plan this time too. I think we were flying by the seat of our pants most of this thing, and everything was kind of coming in late. But at least now we can legitimately say we have a full year to kind of put the plans together, work with everybody that we want to work with in different ways, and actually have things feel a little bit more cohesive and in control. Right, Kazra?
No control. Can't do anything about that.
All right, fine.
It didn't feel like it was thrown together. It didn't feel like any aspect of it was rushed or compromised on it. It really was terrific.
I
That's
felt like
amazing to hear, honestly.
What's that?
That's amazing to hear that, because we screwed up a lot. Yeah.
I felt like
we would have never known, and we attend some screw ups.
Yes.
I personally felt like I was doing a signing on the bus from Speed. I just really felt like it was just, non-stoppiness in all its glory.
Yeah. You guys did great. Kazra, you did great. Bill, you did great. If there were screw ups, we didn't see them.
No.
Thank you.
Now,
We saw a couple of screw ups running around, but
That wasn't his fault.
yeah.
I want to bring up one possible complaint.
Okay.
I used the bathroom. Okay, but it was the kind where like I could use anybody's toilet. So I went out and I asked Bill. I said, "Where's the nearest bathroom?" And you said, "Oh, if you go over here and that." And this woman, I don't know if she's somebody's mom or some woman. She was sitting at the door checking for badges. You know, this older lady. She was wearing the gear.
Right.
It could have been Audrey. I mean, Maureen was at the door for a while.
Let's go with Audrey.
This woman
let's
had
go with Audrey.
dangerous, volatile energy because
It was
she was
Audrey.
like, "No, just go out those doors and turn right around the corner outside." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She goes, "No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Go out the hallway." And like, I was like, "Yeah, okay, Bill, I'm going to go use this one." And I went outside, and it was a perfectly usable place to do the basics. And I came back, and she got up out of her chair and came at me like a wrestler from a 1950s movie. It said, "Did you go to the one I mentioned?" Like,
how was it?
Audrey. That's the best impersonation of Audrey I've ever seen.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm pissing now too." Jesus Christ!
Outside peeing in the pool. That's what he thought she meant. Using the fountain.
Well, we want to make sure you everything went well, and you washed your hands when you were done.
I would say he went well. He went well.
Yeah. That was my only gripe.
That was, the thing was, clearly restrooms, you're used to having one somewhere in the hall, and that was the odd part about that.
No, it's around. It's outside.
Right, you either had to go outside, or you had to go over by where towards the auction. There's one. Well, there's two over in the other area. It probably was closer to go up to your room, Adam.
Don't tell her.
Yeah.
Don't tell her. Don't give
Bill,
her.
I didn't tell you. I don't know why we're going to talk about bathrooms a little bit more, but the main bathrooms in the hallway on Saturday morning, right at 9:45, right before the show opened, a friend of ours went and used the bathroom, came out looking super embarrassed because the whole place was flooded after one flush.
Oh.
What the hell did
That's how it started.
What did he eat?
Yeah, I didn't ask. I didn't blame him. You're right.
Castle.
That should have been the first place I went.
I'm glad I didn't hear anything about that.
He was Canadian.
That's why they were so aggressively.
Oh, he was Canadian?
Don't use
Probably
that word.
bacon.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Alberto, I said he was Canadian. That narrowed it down. There you go.
The moose burger and bacon.
Watch out with the syrup.
Oh boy! And on that note,
we learned a lot tonight.
We did.
And then I escorted your son, Bill, into the women's bathroom so that he could use the bathroom. I had to stand at the door like I was some tough guy, so Ashton could go to the bathroom. Yeah.
So in the archives, this is just the bathroom OAX episode now.
Yeah, it is.
No. If Amanda's there, it's going to eventually turn into a bathroom story. That's just what happens. That's her. She rates conventions by the bathrooms. That's why New York Con has what you don't like. New York.
OX. Oh, then Amanda, OAX 2 will be way better than the first one.
Wow. Well, the first one was pretty good. It had roomy, clean, nice, quiet bathrooms that you could get to.
You didn't have to hover. You didn't have to hover.
You
in
could
there?
get to it in like
There were
a
no
minute
lines in
and
the
30
ladies' room.
seconds
That's
to
the
2
important
minutes,
part.
and it was great. But yeah.
The men's bathroom's like wearing roller skates. It's a little different.
And I went into the men's room and Bob Layton was there giving me towels and asked me if I wanted to buy cologne.
Bob
I
Layton in
wanted
the
to spray
bathroom.
cologne on. I'm like, Bob, can you be out there? And he's like,
Bob
Jimmy,
Layton in the bathroom. Fuck you.
Oh shoot!
I'm getting constipated thinking about it.
All right. Well, everyone, I'm so glad that we had this conversation this evening. I've learned
Glad
so
we had
much
this time
about it. All of you. Balls Layton, #1 Marvel fan, reminds us of that.
Yeah, there he is.
Boy. Yeah. So we're already planning OAX 2025. But
I
so
think we've all effectively gotten ourselves uninvited.
well, it was nice.
there'll be a lot more to talk about next year. I know that.
Extra memory.
That's what I remember.
Everyone in line at Jimmy's has a roll of toilet tissue for Amanda.
Exactly.
So really, the four of you are no bullshitting. You want to come back next year?
Oh,
God,
You
yes.
tell me the date, I'll block it off. Absolutely.
We are there. We are
Yep.
there. I've had more people ask me, hey, can you see if you can get me in next year? And I'm just like, money talks and bullshit walks. You know how that goes. I mean,
Well, then here's our first 4 announced guests for OAX 2025.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
thank
soon as we know the
All
dates,
right.
we can put them in. The
24 to, can we say it, Bill?
Sure. Yeah, we definitely.
January 24 to 26.
Okay.
Right there.
And you guys see, I
Look at
see
that.
everyone out there writing that down. 24 to 26.
24 to
January.
26.
It's
Put
in
it.
the calendar as we
Book
speak.
it.
Got it. 25.
Oh, wait.
24 to 26.
Yep. Got it.
Yep.
It's in.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, look
You know
at-
what? It's the week after I have a note to say cancel. What's that radio service that?
Oh, Sirius.
Yeah, cancel Sirius. It's the
Cancel
week after
Sirius.
canceling Sirius.
So you're free.
Yes, but there will be a week off before that other show, and I think that's going to be better for us as well. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
no conflicts, and we get to focus on any guests we want, and I think that'll make planning things a little bit easier in year 2.
It'll be 2 weeks ahead of MegaCon this time.
Good. Yeah.
Will it? That's only
Yeah.
one. Well, one in between. There's a gap in between.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
we're 2 weeks ahead.
we're
That's
2
why I'm
weeks
just thinking
behind.
that having that buffer between the two. Now there's no issues with wondering, with
Oh,
all that
hey,
stuff.
it's
So that's
the
that's
weekend
great
after
for us.
Inauguration Day, so we could all just start drinking on the Monday, the 20th.
Man, I hope there isn't a reason to drink.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we need a reason.
Didn't even
to
think
drink.
about that.
Like a bad reason to drink.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a good reason to drink.
Yeah, be
Right.
positive.
But maybe we should do OAX flasks in year 2 because Allison was genius at the auction with that. I didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we were buying the drinks, but they it's like,
They were
oh,
light.
you could be stronger. And then Allison was
Huh.
the catalyst to make drinks.
Oh, it's walking around with your own bottle? Is that what you were
Well,
doing?
no, I mean,
I wouldn't say that.
Allison had like a wooden leg full of booze.
it was her wooden leg full of booze. If you needed your drink to be a little bit stronger, then that's
Allison would come by.
And I didn't know that.
You know, I believe in,
lightweight.
buy,
Amanda was a lightweight. Allison also might have been the lady to visit if you wanted alcohol in your coffee in the morning.
Oh,
Oh yes, I did have alcohol in my coffee in the morning. Actually, no, I waited until it was like afternoon because
We started at about 1 and we just didn't stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the few auctions that I've been to where every single piece sold.
Oh yeah.
It was one of the few. I've been to auctions where some things don't sell. The one piece that didn't sell, the guy bought after the auction, right? He came up and offered.
That's true. Yeah, he came up
So,
and
I
offered
mean,
me cash for it. So yeah,
That was
it a
90
sellout.
something. That was 90 something pieces of art.
It was a lot.
That was a lot
Yeah,
of art.
and we started the pieces where we had a methodology. We figured we didn't want to start at $10 on things, so
Right.
I kind of put, if we didn't get a price on something, I kind of set my own retail price for it, and then I set it to 40% of that, figuring we would cut to the chase a little bit.
Right.
And I do think that helped a little, rather than starting us low and everybody bidding, in small increments, it got them started right about where we wanted, and the proxy bidding helped a little bit there too. So
yeah, we'll tighten that up. We'll tighten that up next year too, because Nikki and I definitely have two ways of auctioning.
Yeah, and the proxy bidding let people that couldn't be in attendance still participate on some really great pieces of artwork.
That was Bill in the front on the phone.
Yeah,
I kept forgetting Bill. I kept thinking you were bidding. I was laughing. I'm like, Bill's buying everything.
Next time it won't be me. That way we can add a little bit of mystery in there, so that when I am bidding on something, it's me bidding on something, because there were a few pieces I wanted to bid on that I missed out on. But
I was kind of glad Albert Moy was in another country, because if he was there, he would have been bidding on like half of the stuff there.
He definitely is going to be at OAX 2025. He already said he would skip Angoulême to come to OAX.
Wow.
He must have had a bad Angoulême.
He said it was okay. He actually was like, well, it was all right. But
his wife wanted to go. She went.
Oh yeah, it is a giant trip to get to Angoulême, and then you're dealing with, I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's an insane amount of people in a small little place. And like to even get something to eat at night, you're dealing with like lines of like 300 people. It really is insane. It's like Luca, it's the same thing. It's like 60,000 people in a area that should be 10,000. So you talk about bathrooms, everyone just pees in the woods, and they just go everywhere. They pee everywhere.
So it's like a concert.
When they tell you to go outside, Adam, they really mean go outside.
Yeah, they tell you to walk over to France and pee, from Italy. But no, it's so those shows are, maybe they make money and maybe they don't, but I just know them as very stressful shows.
Yeah.
Those two shows, they're so extremely, because people wait all year, and it's like San Diego, but in like, I can't even explain it. It's more people because they're all at once everywhere, With San Diego, people go out at night and they kind of go, it's a big town. In like Luca and those places, it's only a small circle and it's small towns. So everybody's trying to go to the same 15 restaurants, and it's crazy,
And it's not like you could have gone to the Ralphs in advance and packed your hotel room with food, because.
No, I mean, you buy cheese and bread and you sit in your room. That's the best you can do, But anyway, OAX, a lot easier, a lot better.
Right.
If you buy cheese and bread, then you don't need the bathroom.
Crickets. Even the crickets are quiet.
Oh boy, yes. So all right. Well, with the dates are out there now. Everybody's marked their calendars.
Yay!
We get a formal announcement will go out tomorrow, and everybody and the rest of the world will know. But I'd say everybody should start planning for OAX 2025. I don't think we're going to have a problem selling out of whatever ticket cap we put on year two. Probably, a month before the show actually happens. I think that's the way. I think there was a lot of FOMO after the show, which is cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if you put away $10 a week from now till when the next show starts, you'll have not only ticket money, but you'll have a lot of money to blow on art too. So
that's
$10 a week is not that hard to put away. You have that crazy jar in the corner there, that pickle jar.
I'm going to start one now that you've said that, just so I can have some extra money.
OAX jar.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm going to ask for a raise.
Hey, Adam, do you see this question here? It says, why does Adam Hughes always have a puss face when sketching and signing for fans? A puss face.
Puss face.
Puss face. Puss face.
Meow.
What? I'd like to know.
Adam's resting puss face is what that is. That's Adam's resting puss face.
Is that it right there?
That's not a put. He's concentrating.
Yeah.
No.
I get a puss face when I work because I'm concentrating.
Yeah, constipated. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, did that person pick up that in the back of the van piece finally?
No, I have to ship it. Actually, he was super. He got in touch, and we actually had a bit of a miscommunication when we got all the requests for the commissions through comic art fans. I was under the impression they were getting auto replies, and I guess folks weren't. So some of them didn't realize we had their requests. So there I was calling people, and they were like, "What? It's done?" So we totally sorted it out, and we're shipping
Honey,
it.
cancel the surgery.
Right? That $30,000 cover. Actually, I chatted with him today, in fact, and we're going to ship it in the next few days.
That is a beautiful
There are
piece.
2 commissions that Adam is wrapping up
tonight.
Yeah, so everybody on the commission list will have gotten their commission, which we're really proud of.
Is the Jason face going to be in the back window?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm glad the piece didn't go out at the end of the show, because now I can make it even betterer. So.
Allison, you got to post that piece.
Oh, I will, absolutely. Okay. Once Adam finishes it and I get a good scan of it.
All right.
And some stuff I'm not going to post because I keep threatening to do a new Adam Hughes sketchbook. So we got to save some of these really fun images for some new content for a sketchbook.
Absolutely.
Yep. But we can say, I think, your first commission list at a show in how many years? I mean, for all we know, the next one won't be till the next OAX. So
works for us.
I figured. I thought you might like that.
Are you talking about on January 24th, 25th, and 26th of 2025?
I am.
All
Are
right.
you free that weekend, Jimmy and Amanda?
Of course.
You guys want slots 1 and 2 on the Adam Hughes OAX commission list?
Yes.
Amanda, yes.
I'm bored now. This is boring me. Can we?
Yep.
Oh, puss face.
He's frozen on puss
I like a
face
shirt made resting puss
why do I have a feeling that somebody's going to print a T-shirt that says "Puss Face" and they're going to walk up to Adam's table at OAX in 2025? So, all right, it's going to happen, I'm sure.
That'd just be the sign behind us: Allison Sohn and Puss Face.
Not nice.
If you ask us to print that, we will do it. So just watch out.
I got the power.
All right, everybody, we're going to call it. I'm losing my voice. I don't know why, but thank you for attending OAX 2024. You know, without the 4 of you holding down that corner, it would certainly not have
floated away.
Yes, it would have floated away. It would have gone far away. But we appreciate it, and now we have our first 4 guests announced for 2025. That's great. I wasn't expecting to be able to do that tonight either, but I appreciate it. And I saw some other questions in the chat. We'll address a lot of that stuff tomorrow, and then probably on Thursday with regards to ticket sales and when they'll happen. We have some ideas here, but we'll let everybody know what we're thinking over the next week or so. But Amanda, Jimmy, Adam, Allison, thank you so much for being here and being at the show, and we'll do it again in 2025.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us on tonight, and we can't wait.
Yes.
Right,
Thank
Puss?
you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, you guys.